Good evening, you're watching Estuary News. Coming up, we find out about a support group for the lonely. We take a look at how a golf simulator will help you improve your skills. After the UK carried out airstrikes on Syria, we find out your thoughts. We head over to a school in Cleethorpes to see what happened when squadron leader Nikki Thomas popped in. And we visit a kennels near Hull where poochers are well and truly pampered. Welcome to Estuary News. I'm Hugh Richards. Lunch clubs are often at the centre of the community, bringing elderly people together to combat social isolation. One lunch club on the Ings estate in Hull seems like every other lunch club, but it has a few unique touches that make it stand out, as Dave Nunn found out.
Elderly people can often experience social isolation, becoming separated from society. Lunch clubs like the Lonely Lunch Hour Club on the Ings estate in Hull are one way to combat that with a number of additional benefits.
We start with somebody that's at home, never comes out, doesn't know anybody, and we'll work with them and encourage them to come and join the lunch club. We'll maybe escort them into it, and then once they've been a couple of times, we'll get them onto community transport so they can come along on their own, and then they make friends at the centre, and also they get a nice healthy meal as well. We do some mental stimulation afterwards, some activities, say quizzes, bingos and things like that, and beforehand we're trying to link in some chair exercises as well to do some physical exercise so that we get an all-round activity through the day.
The club on the Ings estate has a unique touch to it though, as it will also help younger vulnerable adults get work experience. The club will hire people who may lack certain skills but have a strong desire to work and learn new skills. Service organisers say it will help combat the social isolation of a younger generation.
So a lot of people in the area maybe struggle with interviews, maybe struggle with a weak CV, but can do jobs, can work, want to work. And that goes for people on the autistic spectrum and also people not on the autistic spectrum. We'll be creating our first job before Christmas that's non-funded, that's funded through Lunch Club money rather than through independent kind of grants. So that's very exciting for us. And that's what it's all about, creating those kind of work opportunities.
The residents themselves seem to enjoy the good meals and the companionship that the club offers them.
Companionship. We're all of us similar to older age group. We can get out. You know, it's better than being sat at home going stir crazy.
Well, it makes sense to me because I live on my own. I won't bother to cook a meal like this. So I come here, a nice meal, gorgeous meal, a lot of nice friendly people.
And I think they're wonderful. And they work very hard for us as the people. They deliver our meals to us. It's wonderful.
Around the corner from the Ings Club is Pelican Park. The Friends of Pelican Park group want to form their own lunch club like the one at Ings and say these clubs are becoming a vital service to the community.
Well, we'd like to obviously offer them a luncheon club, but we've got tennis facilities and other sporting facilities on site. So our idea is to engage them into a light tennis session. Our tennis coach has got involved with the group as well. So taking it from the basic chair exercises up to standing on court and doing a little basic tennis sessions will be a great success, I think. It'll definitely improve their general health and well-being, but it'll also break down isolation and barriers as well to older people, because everybody wants to have something to do, but not just that, but make new friends as well. And I think this club could do it.
It certainly is a dog's life for any animal that visits a kennels near Hull, for they've access to music, films and heating. Dan Kemp went to see why man's best friend is treated like royalty.
They're dog kennels, but not as you know them. Each of Home From Home Pet Care's new luxury kennels has been installed with a state-of-the-art digital radio. So if it's Mozart or One Direction, holidaying hounds can relax and unwind the way they want.
The owners can select a choice of music. They can even bring a USB, so they've got a choice of music that they want to bring from home, even record their own voices as well. The reason we do that is that brings familiarity into kind of the kennel environment, so the dogs feel reassured as soon as they get into kind of stay with us. If our customers request kind of Radio 2 or classical or any kind of sounds that they're familiar with at home, then we can set that in the kennel.
It's all part of a wider redevelopment that saw the luxury hillside kennels open back in the summer and also includes underfloor heating.
They've developing kind of outside category units. At the minute we have pods, which are like little perspex conservatories they can sit and sunbathe in. But next year we're going to have kind of outside units which are going to have hammocks and dried sapling trees for them to kind of climb as well. So that's further investment.
Gemma Salvage is the dog training manager at the site and says the new facilities boost what she can offer, especially at a time when people are juggling more and more hectic lifestyles.
We do the residential training packages, and that's when the dogs get to stay in the hillside accommodation. We are finding it very popular. People don't have the time that they used to have now to train their dogs, so they're finding it helpful for us to sort of get some groundwork in for them and then help them along the way to then continue it further at home.
Kennels and has always been kind of popular. I think standards have increased somewhat, and that just comes down to the way we view our pets. They're much more family, part of the family now than they were maybe kind of 10, 20 years ago. But yeah, we want to kind of treat our guests as guests, so we want to give them as much comfort and as much hands-on as we possibly can. At the end of the day, they get butler service here, they get to relax in the kennel, we do everything for them, and yeah, we like to think that we give them a really, really settled, enjoyable stay.
You're watching Estuary News. Still to come tonight, after the UK carried out airstrikes on Syria, we find out your thoughts and we head to a school in Cleethorpes to see what happened when squadron leader Nikki Thomas popped in, and we'll have all the latest sports news. Technique is important, all important in golf. They say it's all in the arms and the swing. But what if you want to perfect it to become a better player? Well, you can, using the same technology that you find in motion-controlled video games. It's now been refined, and it's part of a cutting-edge golf simulator, which has made its way to Grimsby Golf Club. Dave Nunn went to find out more.
It looks like a video game, but this golf simulator at Grimsby Golf Club is a high-tech solution to training and getting people involved in the game.
Okay, the Golf Performance Studio, first and foremost, is designed to help people get into golf, or those that already play golf, is to help them improve their own performance. It's a really modern way at looking at golfers, helping them teach, with the added bonus of them being able to come along and play many of the world's best golf courses right here on our system.
The simulator works by using a scanner and special golf clubs to measure everything, from the speed of the club swinging to the angle the ball was hit. It's the only technology of its kind currently available in Lincolnshire.
We have some hardware that effectively measures the golf ball, the club head through impact, and this information is processed onto the software, which would then display the exact ball flight that you would expect to see out on the golf course. The system does work externally as well, so we'll be using the GC2 software, which has been manufactured by Foresight Sports, an American company that are the world leader in producing this kind of equipment. So as again, it's one of the first in the area. I don't think there's anywhere else in Lincolnshire at the moment that have this type of system.
While my experience with the tech wasn't great and I should probably stick with a day job, for more experienced players, this tech brings many benefits.
Yeah, our main slogan for this is basically been to try and take people to the next level with their game. So, I think the feedback that we get shot by shot, it means that we can help people improve the game really quickly. The added bonus, again, now we're at winter time, is that they can be inside without bracing the elements. You know yourself, the weather out there is awful at the moment. And I think the big benefit for us is that where we'd normally be cancelling lessons, people can come in here, whatever the weather, and really work on improving their game. So again, it's not just for the sort of club golfer, the top level golfers are looking at this system as well, and it's even perfect for people that have never played golf before. If they want to come along without being in the public eye, they can come in here and have some privacy and give the game a go and see whether it's for them or not.
So from real professionals to more green players like myself, it seems the new technology will bring Grimsby on par with the elite of the golfing world.
Dan Kemp joins me now to tell me a little bit about what's coming up in the sports news. Dan.
Good evening, how are you?
Very well, thank you.
Brilliant. Right, yeah, we've got a couple of rugby fixtures I'll tell you about first. I haven't made it into the sports news today because we've got quite a lot of action. Hull Ionians are playing Ampthill District in Rugby Union. Third place Hull IUFC, they're in the National League 3 North. Another team, they're flying high, they're third place at the minute. They're playing Sheffield Tigers, and Scunthorpe are at Birmingham Solihull as well. And coming up in the sports news, we'll have Hull City, they're playing Leeds United tomorrow, big Yorkshire derby, so you can hear from Steve Bruce, who's talking about the game, and we'll also have a clip from him on our Facebook page as well. And there's also Paul Hurst, the Grimsby town manager, about their FA Cup match.
And it's a busy weekend of sporting events to come up.
Yes, exactly. It is most weekends. Scunthorpe are playing as well, North Thurby are playing, Gainsborough Trinity are playing, all our local sides are in action.
And should we just not get Steve Bruce in here as a once-a-week regular spot?
Well, instead of me?
No, not instead of you.
It's
in addition.
probably more interesting.
Dan, thanks very much. Look forward to that. Join me after the break when we head to a school in Cleethorpes to see what happened when squadron leader Nikki Thomas popped in, and we find out what your views are on airstrikes in Syria. And of course, as Dan has just said, we'll bring you all the latest sports news.
I want to see Grimsby put on the map.
Extraordinary qualities, unmatched in anywhere else in Britain.
We need to act with one voice.
I was absolutely shocked, I'll tell you the truth.
More police officer hours spent on patrol preventing crimes from happening.
Welcome back. You're watching Estuary News. Coming up, we find out your views on the airstrikes in Syria, and we'll have the sports news from across the region ahead of the busy weekend. Schools often invite guest speakers in to inspire their pupils, and recently students at Holy Family Catholic Academy in Cleethorpes got the opportunity to talk to somebody who made history. Nikki Thomas became the first female Tornado Squadron Commander in the UK and came to talk to the pupils about the STEM initiative. We sent Dave Nunn along.
Nikki Thomas is a woman who made a bit of history earlier this year. After years of hard work and training, Nikki became the squadron commander of 12 Bomber Squadron, based out of RAF Marham. She's the first female Tornado Squadron commander in the country.
So I'm actually in charge of 12 Bomber Squadron, which is one of the frontline Tornado squadrons based at RAF Marham. So I'm in charge of about 180 people. I've got about 9 aircraft, and both training and on operations, just flying the Tornado.
Recently, Nikki left the cockpit of the Tornado to pay a visit to the Holy Family Catholic Academy in Grimsby to talk to schoolgirls about their future career plans.
Really, I'm just here to help encourage, speak to some of the guys and girls at the school and just find out what they want to do and encourage them to achieve their dreams and do whatever they want to do in the future.
Nikki's visit is part of the STEM initiative, encouraging pupils to study science, technology, engineering or maths-based subjects at Key Stage 4. The Holy Family Academy says that 35% of its female students study these subjects, but nationally it's only 10%. Nikki says it's important for the RAF to encourage more women to study these subjects.
Yeah, I think a lot of the Air Force do go out. There are a lot of careers advisors out there, and they do go out to schools quite a lot, especially encouraging the engineering side, which I think is really, really important. So I think it's great to get out there and just encourage people to do what they want to do. I don't mind if they decide to join the Air Force or not. If it just encourages one person to go out there and achieve what they want to, then that's mission achieved.
Nikki says that despite her success, she doesn't see herself as a role model to girls like those at the academy. She says the hard work she put in to get where she is now and her love of her job should be inspiration enough for anyone who wants to follow in her footsteps.
I don't. I just do my job, and I absolutely love my job. Maybe the fact I love it is the inspiration rather than what I do. Again, it's putting your mind to it, setting goals, working hard and achieving what you want to do. So once I realised I wanted to join the Air Force, I set my mind to it and worked hard to make sure that I could get there.
And if there's a story you'd like us to look into, then you can contact the news team either through the Facebook or Twitter pages or email news@estuary.tv, call 01472 31553. Let us know what's happening in your area. A one-day Commons debate and vote were held this week to decide on airstrikes against the so-called Islamic State in Syria. We asked shoppers in Grimsby what they thought. Should the UK carry out airstrikes?
Yeah, well, they say it's Syria, but it's IS, isn't it, really? And I think the problem is they're going to bomb here anyway, aren't they? So I think they may as well go over there and do it, yeah.
I'm a bit worried about it, and I think they should think of other ways of bringing it all to an end, more of discussion and trying to work together.
I think that it's a good idea. I think that's what we should do. We should send ground troops in as well, actually.
And after the 10-hour Commons debate, MPs voted in favour of airstrikes against the militants in Syria. So we went out again to find out what you thought.
I think we're the biggest warmongers on earth. We can't wait. We just got out of one war and we can't wait to get into another war. And what's the cost going to be? I mean, you go on, it's silly, isn't it? I just cannot understand why they want to do this.
I honestly don't know. It's very difficult. There's going to be repercussions, whichever way you jump, isn't it?
I think you have to attack force with force. Yeah, there's no other way, I don't think. You can't negotiate with people who are incapable of negotiating and taking common sense action.
Personally, no. But I couldn't tell you why. I think it's just the fact that I don't like to think of our lads and lasses going out there again. They've done enough, but they've got to be stopped, haven't they? So
I have no idea. So I don't have access to the intelligence reports. No one does, so the government knows, I guess.
You know, I haven't really looked at both sides, but we're all for peace if possible. Let's put it that way.
And now here's Dan with the sport.
Hull City will be followed by a sellout away following for their Yorkshire derby at Leeds United tomorrow. The game at Elland Road is likely to see Robert Snodgrass feature for the first time in the league since last August. Elsewhere, Scunthorpe United and Grimsby Town are both in FA Cup second round action. The Iron are at Leyton Orient on Saturday, while the Mariners must wait until Monday evening before they look for a shock against League One Shrewsbury. And North Ferriby United travel to Chorley in the National League North. Adam Nicklin and Danny Hone are both expected to miss the game with long-term injuries. Back to Hull now, and boss Steve Bruce has been talking through his injury concerns ahead of tomorrow's game.
Bell has got a bit of a hamstring. I don't think he's going to make it, so that's a bit of a blow to us. We expect Curtis to be there or thereabouts. He's been sick, and I think it's a little bit too early for Michael Dawson too. So, whereas 2-3 weeks ago we had a clean bill of health, all of a sudden, we've lost 2 or 3 or 4, but that's part and parcel of playing the fixture list, what we do.
And you can hear more from Steve Bruce on tomorrow's opposition on the Estuary TV Facebook page. Meanwhile, Grimsby manager Paul Hurst says he's baffled by their current fixture list. His side have 2 cup games before they're next in league action in 2 weeks' time.
It's a little frustrating that we have to wait until the 19th of December to play again. We know the FA Cup, we're pleased we're in it, but at the same time you would have thought there'd have been a league game in between the FA Cup and the trophy, but it's how it's turned out, so we get on with it and we just try and take as form what we've shown in the league into the cup games. But it is a bit of a sort of light relief in a way, but at the same time, we want to, as I said, do ourselves justice and show that we're a decent team.
And that's all for the sport.
Okay, well, it's fabulous to have you both here. Then you have your instruments with you, don't you?
Yes,
I can't
we do.
wait to listen to that. So how long have you been doing this type of music? Well, start off telling us a little bit about the music that you do and how long you've been doing it for.
Well, we've been together 20 years, nearly 20 years. In January it will be 20 years. And we both were interested in a wide variety of music before that. So when we met it was perfect, really, because we were both very interested in tango. I was very interested in Russian and gypsy music, and Igor's Russian. So, and we both, I was amazed to find a classically trained accordion player, because then there weren't many in England, and in Russia it's a lot of accordion players train to play classical music. So we could play the Four Seasons from Vivaldi 1 minute, and the next minute we could be playing some jazz piece. So I was really happy to find him.
Oh, that's amazing, because it's quite operatic, the style, isn't it, would you say?
Yeah, well, we do. I mean, Igor sings opera.
Yeah, I love singing opera. So not I'm like opera singer, because I don't sing in opera, but I think with Sarah at concerts everywhere, and we perform.
Because you're performing around this region, aren't you?
Yes,
in
we are.
several places. We'll give those details in a moment. Have you been to this region before?
Yes, but quite a long time ago. We did as we're doing now, rural touring, and we played in a lot of village halls in Lincolnshire. So and we really liked it. We stayed with lots of lovely people as well, which is always a bonus.
Oh, that's lovely. And for people who will want to come and see this, what can they expect to see?
Well, we're going to start with some classical things like The Flight of the Bumblebee, bit of Vivaldi's Four Seasons, not the whole thing, obviously. Probably an opera aria or two, maybe an Italian song, and then a couple of tangos, which people are welcome to dance to if they want. And then the second half will be mostly Russian and Gypsy. Oh, we'll probably do a bit of jazz, a bit of Django, because especially me, I'm really into Django Reinhardt and Stefan Grappelli, and I've brought him on board with that. So we'll probably do something like Minor Swing or one of those Stefan Grappelli favourites, or Sweet Georgia Brown. So a real variety, something for everyone. Maybe a bit of pop and a bluegrass number.
Yeah, because I've got always a part of this accordion, which is an acoustic one. I play electronic one.
Oh, amazing.
Sometimes I use it, sometimes not. Depends. Yeah. We'll see.
Yes, because it's got loads of sound, so it can sound like a whole jazz band or a tango band or anything.
Oh, wow. So where did the inspiration come from for this then? Because it's quite unique what you do, isn't it? The partnership that you have and the instruments you play and bringing those together. Is that quite unique?
Well,
I think it's because of the open-mindedness, because you like different kind of music, and I love something and I want to play it, and basically, why not? That's how I.
Yeah, and
books.
Yeah, it is really, and we both we're both exactly the same age, and we both grew up really sort of embracing a lot of different styles, and so when we met, we just had very similar interests, and we just started playing together, first of all, just for functions, really, just for people's weddings and everything. Yeah. And then people saw us and said, oh, you should put that into a cabaret and keep all the different styles in. And it just went from there, and we've never really, although we do specialise in Russian and Gypsy music, because obviously it's his roots, and we do a lot of tango, we've always wanted to put everything in, all the different styles in, and people like it.
That's it for tonight. If you have a news story for us, then please visit our Facebook or Twitter pages, email news@estuary.tv or phone Grimsby 01472 31 553. Until next week, good evening.
Estuary TV weather, sponsored by Rix Petroleum, your local family-owned heating oil supplier this winter.
Hello and welcome to Estuary TV's weather. Saturday will be wet and windy with some severe gales or storms. Rain will be heavy over the northern Pennines. Southern and eastern areas will remain largely dry with local brightness and the maximum temperature of 12 degrees. Sunday, the rain and gales will clear for most of the day, sunny spells later on.
Rix, servicing the region's oil boilers this winter from a name you can trust. Get in touch at rix.co.uk or call us on 01482 838383.